Where's the S&P 500 going and why is everybody bearish? Are they right? Are they wrong? Stay tuned to find out. This video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. The speaker's opinions should not be considered as advice from a licensed professional. Viewers should not use this content as a specific inducement to make investments or follow strategies, but rather as an expression of opinion. Follow the rest of the disclaimer, but please do your own research. What up, Tycoons? Welcome to Tycoon Network, where we specialize in trading stock options and providing educational stock market investing to help others achieve financial success. Now, you'll see I have ES up here, which is the S&P 500 futures. You can use this to trade SPX or SPY, okay? So if you wanted to look at this with me, you'll see how I have the RSI pulled up, okay? Now, the RSI has only been above 79 three times in the last 28 years, okay? It's almost 30 years. It's only been above 79 three times on the weekly chart, mind you, on the weekly chart, not on the daily. It's only been above 79 three times on the weekly chart in the last 28 years, okay? So let's actually look. Boom, there's one right here in 2024. There's one right here that I have marked in 2020. There's one right here that I have marked in 2017. Now let's look. Nothing else. Nothing else. We're in the 2000s now. Nothing else. Where is this? Nope. 77. Nope. 2003. Nothing else. What's this? 1997. Still nothing. And the first thing we got is 1996. All right. 1996 is the first one that we see before 2017. All right. So when we're looking at the current situation and the last three occurrences, which we can't even count 2024 because we're in the process of that. So we can only look at the last two occurrences. Okay. So what happened in 2017 is, boom, this instance where I have the dotted line, that's where the RSI rose above 79. All right. What happened after that? We rose on the weekly chart to reach the top band. All right. It took us 9 weeks to kind of reach the top band. Yeah, we were hitting it here, but we hit the top band up here. All right. And then we pulled back. We dropped around 12.10%. And then what happened after that? We kept going. And then we dropped a little later on, correction, and then we kept going. All right. So essentially what happened is we reached the top band on the weekly chart and then dropped and pulled back. All right. Now on 2020, what happened is similar occurrence. We actually rose to reach the top band. All right. You see, we rose to reach the top band. We pulled back, rose to reach the top band, and then we had that major correction of around 36.02%, if we're being exact here. So we had the RSI getting above 79 right here. And then we had the pullback, which led us to launch into the top weekly band, which it took us 5 weeks to do that from the time the RSI reached above 79. And then once we reached that top band, that is when we pulled back exponentially. We had that correction around 36.02%. All right. So initially we dropped to the 50 SMA and then we dropped below it to the 200 SMA, then we dropped below it and actually bounced off the 400 SMA. All right. So that's what happened over here on 2017. When we reached the top band and pulled back, we bounced at the 50 SMA twice. All right. So what we're looking at over here with the current occurrence, which is happening right now. All right. We had the RSI reach above 79 right here. Okay, that was around March 18th, the week of March 18th. Okay, so when that happened, we did expect us to pull back and have a retest before we launch
to reach the top band. Because you see over here, we didn't reach the top band. The last two times this happened in the last 28 years, we reached that top Bollinger Band before actually collapsing into a correction. Okay. So this is what I'm expecting. Once again, I know we have Iran and Israel and a lot of, world geopolitical events going on and this election year, but just looking at the numbers, not even counting the news or the data, just looking at the data, the chart, okay? This is what it's telling us. It's telling us that we could reach this top band, which is around 54.03 on ES, okay? So if we're looking at ES and you want to get the number or the target for spot for SPX, SPX is 45 points less than ES. That's what it is right now. You have to kind of do that on, a daily basis because it might fluctuate, a couple days apart. But roughly right now, it's around 45 points less than ES. Okay, that's what SPX is. So for right now, 51.66. If I wanted to see what SPX is 51.21. Okay, and it's okay if you're like a dollar or so off. You just want the kind of same area. Okay, so if we're looking at 54.03, if we just round that down to like 5400, then we'll be looking at around 53.65. All right, 53.55 for SPX. All right, so 53.55 would be the area that you're looking for on the max, or you could just look at the SPX weekly, but in my opinion, I like to look at the ES weekly. So getting back to it, we had the RSI pull up above the 79 area right here, and then 1, 2, 3 weeks later, we had that test. And then I'm guessing, in my opinion, we're going to reach 54.03 before we actually have a major pullback to possibly retest this 50 SMA. All right. Like it did twice before when the RSI got above 79 on the weekly. Each time it tested that 50 SMA. So when we look at the daily, scaling down to the daily and looking at the exact same things, let's scroll back. What happened over here in 2017? 2017, you'll see once again, okay, boom, RSI above the 79 on the weekly chart. And then we went up, pull back right here, pull back right here, pull back right here again, went up, pull back again right here, went up. And then this is the area where we reach the top of the weekly bands before we actually, crash. So this is the area, as you can see, we had it marked where on the weekly chart, we hit the top band. So that's once we hit the top band on the weekly, we were already looking for when that occurrence was going to happen. And if we looked on the stochastics, we would have seen signs. So right here, it would have showed us a slight pullback or a crash, but it didn't happen. That's when we hit the top of the weekly bands. It showed us a bearish divergence right here again, and that was all she wrote right there. Boom. All right. And once again, on 2020, what happened 2020? Okay. So 2020, similar occurrence. You'll see we had above the RSI on the weekly chart right here. We're on the daily though. And then we actually had that pull back to the 50 SMA. All right. We had a pull back to the 50 SMA on the daily. All right. Now, when we had that pull back to the 50 SMA on the daily, let me continue. When we had that that pull back to the 50 SMA on the daily, we created a bullish divergence right here. You see that? Now, everybody might have thought, man, we're going to crash right here. It's like, January, beginning of January, COVID is just like, flaring up and things of that nature. But we actually continued higher. So this is around the beginning of COVID. January, February, just starting February. All right. So we pulled back. A lot of tensions are flaring up, but we actually had that bullish divergence on the technicals telling us that we could have gone higher. And this is 5 weeks later when we actually not only hit the top of the bands on the daily, but you'll see we charted it out on the weekly. So around this area is when we hit the top of the bands on the weekly chart. And even if I put my cursor right here, you'll see how let me actually make a line right there so you can see. Once we hit that top band on the weekly, we kind of didn't go above it. I can put a line right there and kind of show you how we barely just even scraped above that. You see? So once we hit that top band, on the weekly, that's when we started our descent. That's when we started our descent and dropped 36.02%. All right. So as you can see, in my opinion, we're looking a lot like 2020, as I see right here. It was similar to the current week right here. This is the current week. Current week is right here. Okay. So this looked a lot, it looks similar to me. Okay. Because I see us possibly creating a bullish divergence right here. Why would we do that? Don't know. We do have, tensions with Iran and Israel, but just looking at the technicals, we bounced off of that 50 SMA. Okay. Like we were literally, I want to say around like 10 points away or less from that 50 SMA. I'll accept it. All right. So we bounce, or we could rather bounce off of that 50 SMA, which would lead to this being that bullish divergence that I saw, which would lead to this week possibly being a bullish uptrend to the 5403 area before we have that major pullback. All right. So that's what we're looking at. And then again, if we are so bearish, why is it taking so long for us to have that drop? And why are we forming a bullish divergence on the daily? A lot of questions, because when we're bearish, you'll notice how we just go bearish, 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 bearish. All right. When we have little pullbacks like this, that's when you see, okay, we go higher. All right. When we even go back here, bearish, 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 all the way bearish, all the way bearish, all the way bearish. Now, look at this current situation. All right. I'll even pull it up on the 4 hour just to kind of show you what's going on. Where have you seen huge 2% candles like this and then they're pulling back up? Of course, it has to retrace, but as I showed you in the past, like it just doesn't do this all the time, drop and then pop back up. Very next candle, drop and then pop back up, and then we dropped right here and created a doji. So, in my opinion, we're probably going to pop back up at some point, even if we had a raggedy trend line right here, and then we just put that over there, just laid that on top of that right there. That would give us some kind of, idea of if we break above this area. Okay, cool. We beat the consolidation. But like I said, we haven't seen this type of consolidation and crawling down in a while, if ever recently, which leads me to believe, you see how clustered they are together. I don't know if I believe that this is a downtrend. So I think that we were going to test the 50 SMA as we already planned, and when we tested the 50 SMA, that is when we were going to pop to 5403. And then we're going to have a correction of, I would say, around 8 to 10%. Could be more than 10%, but I'm just going to gauge for 8 to 10% because I don't want to overshoot myself. So I'm thinking around 7 to 8 to like 7 or 8 to 10% of a correction. So if we just kind of give a ballpark figure of where that's at, that would be around, so 8% would be around like 49.66. All right. 10% would be around 48.57. Okay. So that's what we're looking at. And if you want to say below the 50 SMA around 51.46, if we get below there, then yes, we could continue bearish and we could see some things speed up with the trend as far as the bearish trend is concerned. But as far as the daily, I think that we still have a bullish trend on the daily, in my opinion. We have had a bullish trend ever since November 13th. All right, since November 13th, we've had a bullish trend. November 13th of 2023, mind you, we've had a bullish trend and we still haven't broken that bullish trend, in my opinion. Okay. So we could see that in the next few days, but we will see. Time will tell. So below this 50 SMA at 51.46, then we possibly could be reaching bearish, territory. But if we have a bounce at that 50 SMA, we can reach our target at 54.03. Okay, which would be around 53.55 on SPX. All right, 53.55 on SPX and 5.33 on SPY. Okay.
Make sure you join our free newsletter, The Tycoon Blueprint. Invest smarter, grow faster. All you have to do is click the link below and provide your email to subscribe. Don't forget to join our exclusive trading and investing community where we provide a blend of technical analysis and cutting-edge AI technology like AI-powered stock predictive flow channels. We have the crypto alerts for breakouts. We have the stock option callouts by AI. They even give you the strike price and the expiration, along with several other features. We also have the trade suggestions from ourselves, the stock suggestions, leap suggestions, callouts from ourselves, economic data updates, and much more. Make sure you click the link below to join. Here's some of the profits from our trading group. We have from 20% all the way up to 4,000%. Now that's an anomaly, but we also have a couple 100% right here, 500, 160 right here. We also have 50%. So we look forward to seeing you in our trading group so you can get some profit as well. Also, whether you're an expert trader in need of a little help, or if you're a novice and you've never traded before, you want to get our accelerated trading course just for $19.97. We have 3 sections in there: foundation, framework, and finishes. Also having a bonus section with a lot of material that can help you with the investment journey, and it comes with a few ebooks. So this keeps it really simple, hones in on how you can make money now and in the future in the market. So this is really essential if you want to learn and grow. So accelerated trading course, only $19.97. You want to grab that. Lastly, if you or someone you know is interested in futures trading, click that link below for Apex Trader funding and the promo code. Input that promo code for 80% off. Now, if you don't have a ton of money, you can get access to between $25,000 and $300,000 per account. All you have to do is pay a small monthly fee, but with the promo code, you'll get 80% off. If you get 20 accounts for $300,000, that's $6 million in trader funding. And all you have to do is pay $2,000 a month. So you get access to $25,000 for your first withdrawal. And after that, you'll get 90% of the profits that you make. So once again, click that link below, put the promo code in, start trading now.